Hi everyone, Paula here. So today I want to show you how to create a deal in eZmax. Whether you are the listing agent or the buyer's agent, you can create the deal as long as your offer has been accepted. So if it's conditional, that's fine. It just needs to be an accepted offer, and then you could go in the system and create the deal. When you create the deal, it's actually creating your transaction record. All right, so here's how you do it. I'll show you first how to go about it or where to start when you are the listing agent. And then I'll finish off with a case where you would be the buyer's agent. So here we go. If you're the listing agent, you first start by going into your files and you go in the listing. Okay. Now I will go into my listing here in Toronto, 1 Greystone Walk Drive. And here's my listing. Next thing you need to do is just hit the new deal button on the right hand side to create the deal. You need to answer the questions that are here. Now, because you're the listing agent, you don't need to enter the sellers. The seller's information is already in the system. You do, however, need to enter the buyer's information. If this is a new buyer for you, then you would have to hit this little green plus to create your new contact. You would enter the name, last name, date, email address, all the information that you want to have in your contact information. If, on the other hand, it's somebody who's signed for you, or rather who has bought for you in the past, you just click on the search engine and then I'll put in a search where I will say, okay, it's Derek Bentley, my buyer. Okay. Now, the transaction information that you enter, the type, well, it could be a deal or a rental. So we'll just stick to a deal right now. You enter your accepted date, the date at which the offer was accepted. You can enter the expected closing date. So let's say that it's July 31st. The seller's lawyer. So you could key in a few letters of the name of the lawyer. And if that person is part of your brokerage's database, then the name will show up. Or you could put a question mark and then all of the lawyers in your brokerage's database will show up and then you could just select. All right. I will enter the transaction amount. So let's say it's $850,000. And then you move on down to mortgage information. Mortgage information, if you have information that you want to enter there, you just go ahead and enter the information. It's not mandatory, it's just more for reference purposes. If you have conditions, so this, let's say, is a conditional deal, then you would hit the little plus to add the condition, and then you'll get a scroll down menu where you could select the condition that that applies to this transaction. So let's say this transaction is conditional to the financing. You're able to add a comment over here, and then you could put in the date at which the condition needs to be filled. All right. So if we move on, we're already at the commission. So here you just enter your commission information. We see that the commission here, the taxes are from Ontario because I'm in an Ontario brokerage. If I'm in BC, I will get the BC taxes, etc. So you rarely really have to touch this. The commissions receivable, I am the listing agent right now. So I will put in the complete commission amount for this transaction. Let's say in this case it's 5%. You are able to select in dollar value, etc. I'll keep it simple. I'll say it's 5%. Next, we want to distribute that percentage, right? So this, as I said, is the total amount. So now we need to split it between the seller's agent and the buyer's agent. So the seller's agent is there by default. I am the seller's agent. I want to add the buyer's agent, and we will pretend that the buyer's agent is from an external agency. So in external agent, I will put in Susan McKenzie as the buyer's agent. I will click on the little check mark here to add her in, and there she is as the buyer's agent. Now I just need to distribute my total 5%. I'll say that I'll keep 2.5% and I will give 2.5% to Susan. The system calculates everything, and then if you have something to add, a comment that you want to transmit to your brokerage, you're able to do so over here, and they will be notified of that comment attached to your transaction on their portal. Okay, and then if all is good, you just hit submit. And that's how you create your deal. And so the next logical step would be to add your documents, the documents that need to be uploaded to this deal for it to be compliant, by clicking on add and proceeding with adding those documents. I'd like to finish off with the assumption. Let's say you are the buyer's agent and you get an offer for a listing that is not yours, and now you want to create a deal in the system. Where you would go is here, new deal. Okay, it's not your listing. You don't or can't go to the listing itself to create the deal. You just go here on new deal, and you will answer the questions that are being asked. Here, we just want to make sure that you've checked to see if that listing is already in your system, because if it is in the system, then it is the listing agent from your brokerage who needs to enter the deal. Okay, so here we just go ahead and say okay, and then we're asking you, is this deal connected to an MLS? So is it for a listing on MLS? If yes, you hit yes, and then you have to enter the MLS number here. If it's not an MLS, you hit no, and now you don't have to enter the MLS number. And then you proceed to the next question, which is this deal linked to a buyer's contract? So are you getting an offer on one of your buyer's contract, either yes or no? And then once you're done, I'll just hit no for now. Once you're done, you hit submit, and it will open up a page which will allow you to complete that report that will create your transaction report, and which will then allow you to also upload the documents for your transaction. All right. So that's what I wanted to show you today. Now you know how to create deals, whether you're the listing agent or the buyer's agent. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. You know where we are. Take care. Bye.